At the basic level, boudoir photography is all about boosting self-confidence and empowering people to feel their best. But of course, it means different things to different people. If you've been wanting to try out this art form, then you're in luck, because in this video, I'll be sharing 5 important tips every beginner in this genre should be aware of. So first up, you need to start with a diverse portfolio. In 2024, this should go without saying. You need people of different ethnicities, people of different body sizes, people of different hair colors, and people of different ages. Boudoir photography is not this elitist genre where it's just people of a certain body type, certain body structure, certain age or demographic that, feels empowered through it. It's supposed to be for everyone, and lots of people tend to focus on women. As a woman myself, knowing, how we've been socialized in a society to dislike parts of ourselves, to dislike our bodies, and sometimes to the extreme of doing harmful things to ourselves. There's a reason why plastic surgery is now big and a thing, right? And so boudoir photography is all about helping people to see that they're worthy, they're valuable, and they're loved despite, what shape their body takes. And so your portfolio should be able to show people from different backgrounds and different demographics who are doing this art form and look good from it, right? Because you don't want to alienate people. You don't want it to just be models of a certain body size of like size 8 and below that are in your portfolio. Because then if someone of a different size comes to your website, or someone from a different ethnicity and they don't see themselves represented, then they're not going to book you. And I think as artists, we should be playing our part in changing the narrative and changing the way we sort of like help people feel and look good and, feel within themselves. And I think it starts from when you're starting your business, having a diverse portfolio. Second tip would be, to choose the right lens. And so for me, that's a 24 to 70 zoom lens. And I love this lens because you can also have the 2.8 aperture, which means, if you're really into that blurry effects, that bokeh, you still get enough of it with this. And with boudoir, when you want the photos to look a bit dreamy, being able to go down to 2.8 is quite good. When you think about the zoom lens of it, you can also get different perspectives. So you can be at the same spot, have like a full length, have a 3/4, have it zoomed in as well to get like a close-up picture of your client. You can get it from different perspectives and different angles. If you work in a small studio or a small room, you're able to still use that space. A lot of people swear by their 24 to 70. When I started portrait photography, I had always said, I would love to get an 85 and that's because one of my favorite YouTube photographer at the time used that a lot, and I just loved her images. But when I got my 24 to 70, I haven't looked back. And I'm not like, when people are all about their equipment, all about their gear, wanting to get the latest lens, just give me my 24 to 70, I'm good, I'm calm. So yeah, definitely make sure you consider the lens you get for this type of photography, for the studio setting you have, and for the variety of images you can quickly get when doing the sessions. Because at the end of the day, the more images you're able to sell and the more different they look, the clients will be able to choose different sort of poses, angles, and all of that. And you end up, making more sales from it as well. Tip 3, when posing, you should definitely look out for curves, look out for triangles, like I always like to get people to place their hands this way. Creating that triangle is beautiful in pictures. Their legs, never have them extend it all the way. You make them pull it back a bit, creating that triangle. When they're lying on a chair, you want them to pop up that hip closest to the camera so you can get that curve. When they're like, posing from behind, you want them to arch their back in. Always think about curves, think about triangles you're making. And also, you should also think about using foreground elements. So with me, I love to introduce plants. And so sometimes I'll take the image through plants. If you use like a prism, you can do that as well. There's so many ways to make your photos more interesting, more alive, tell a story. So think about that. Now, the tip 4 is for you to provide quality products to your clients. And I have an example of my acrylic album here, which comes with a glass image of the client, opens it up to receive an album as well. And this is a 10 by 10 size. So my clients are able to choose like the texture they want. This is a suede. They're also able to choose the color they want. And if they don't want a glass image, that's fine. It can be just totally the cover. They can write their name on it or write a note if it's going to a partner. So these are different ways you can include that custom nature, that, luxury element to your service. So make sure you definitely research. If you would actually love me to talk about the different printing labs I use, leave a comment down below and I'll make a video on that. But I need to know you're interested. And then the 5th is to make sure you have the right pricing, because boudoir, and I think not just boudoir, portrait photography as well, is inherently a luxury service. I'll keep saying this. It's inherent because you're not just making up these figures because you want to be a luxury brand. This is actually what it costs to run a photography studio. You have to pay for your studio, you have to pay for the utilities, you have to pay for these sample products. This costs money. All the softwares to run your business, you pay for that. A marketing budget. There's so many costs that comes into it. So it's not like you buy a product for, let's say, £1 per item from a manufacturer and then you go and sell it for £100. It's like, no. Photography business actually costs thousands. Each client actually costs hundreds to service, from the makeup artist to the day itself, the studio cost, to the refreshments I give them, to the time for editing and all of that, the time for admin, to the luxury products I provide. They all cost money and it ends up coming into the hundreds. So when you do that cost, you also then have to think about how much do you want to earn annually. Add to your annual cost, add your annual salary together, and then you'd see how much you actually have to earn in a year to run a sustainable photography studio. And then of course you then think, how many clients can you physically, because you're a solopreneur, you're a photographer, you take the pictures alone, right? So how much can you physically, how many clients can you work with in a year? Don't forget, you're doing other admin stuff, you're doing other editing stuff. So you can't be taking pictures every single day. You have a maximum you can shoot in a week. So divide that, and then it tells you how much you should be able to price for per client. I know I've just done a rushed way or a quick summary of how to calculate your pricing. Actually, wouldn't mind sharing the whole strategy and the packaging and the psychology behind pricing. If you'd like to see that video, then you know what to do. Leave a comment down below, like this video, share this video, and I'll do that for you. But that's the 15. Make sure you have the right pricing structure. So I hope these 5 tips has given you a good insight on what to look out for when considering becoming a boudoir photographer. Please leave a comment down below and let me know which of these tips you'll be implementing this year. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's giving you good insights on how to navigate working in this genre. If you enjoyed this, then I think you definitely love this one where I talk about how to make a career out of photography. This is it for now. Remember, you don't have to be a struggling artist. See you next week.